Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cambridge Public Schools for our Junior High Wrestling Invitational. Wrestling will start at 1 o'clock for everyone interested. Mats are laid out. Mat 1 is the one here closest to the door you came in from the concession stand. Mat 2 in the middle. Mat 3 will be the one to the west, the big orange C. We will try to announce on-deck wrestlers for each mat. Please be at your mat, warming up if you're on deck, so we can keep wrestling going as we move along. Thank you. We clear the mats, please. Clear the mats. We'll get set to go. For everyone's convenience, if you look up here on the stage, there is a big screen with mat assignments. Also, the screens on each end will have mat assignments, so hopefully everybody can keep up. Here are assignments to get started. Mat 1, Tito McDonald McCook will be wrestling Xander Smith of Southern Valley. Mat 2, Connor Pilgrim McCook wrestling Gunnar Perks of Southwest. And Mat 3, Jocelyn Dunst of Almo will be wrestling Dakota Detterhang of Cambridge. On deck on Mat 1, Jackson Evans of McCook, Brian Edwards of McCook. On deck on Mat 2, Baylor Waltermack of Loomis, Ellie Dubs of Alma. And on deck on Mat 3, Ashley Sharp of Highline, Chloe Stoddard from Brady. And on standby on mat number 1, Teresa Christensen of Alma, Bobby Duran of Elm Creek, Mat 2, Holden Thorell of Loomis, Alex Lobby of Minden, and on Mat 3, Cam Ford of Alma, Sam Siegfried of McCook. You're on standby on those mats. Let's wrestle. Now wrestling on mat number 2, Baylor Walrath of Loomis, Ellie Dubs of Alma. You're up on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 2, Holden Terrell of Loomis and Alex Lobby of Minden. You're on deck on mat number 2. On deck now on mat number 3, Cam Ford of Alma, Sam Siegfried of McCook. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 3, Camden Stritt of Southwest, Booker Stout, Medicine Valley. You're on standby on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 2, Wyatt Huffle of Bertrand, Gavin Andrews of Arapahoe. You're on standby on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 1, Gabrielle Velasquez of Lexington, Hoyt Miller of Alma. You're on deck on mat number 1. Standby on mat number 1, Ezra Solis of Lexington, Javier Corrales of Minden. You're on standby on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 1, Ezra Solis of Lexington, Javier Corrales of Minden. You're on deck. Mat number 1. On deck on mat number 2, Holden Terrell of Loomis, Alex Lobby of Minden. On deck on mat number 3, Cam Ford of Alma, Sam Siegfried of McCook. On standby, mat number 1, Wyatt Brunswick of McCook, John McGowan of Cambridge. Mat number 2, Wyatt Huffle of Bertrand, Gavin Andrews of Arapahoe. And mat number 3, Camden Strip, Southwest Booker Stout, Medicine Valley. You are on standby. On deck on mat number 3, Camden Strip of Southwest Booker Stout, Medicine Valley. You are on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 3, Easton Frex of Alma, Malachi Strickland of Loomis. You are on standby on mat number 3. On deck on mat number 2, Caleb Ely of McCook. Alexis Pablo of Lexington, you're on deck on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 1, Alec Gray of Cambridge, Lance Bonner of Minden, you're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Kristen Davison of Bertrand, Zach Einsbar of Arapahoe. On standby on mat number 2, Vincent Pago of Lexington, Tyson Dean of Highline. On deck on mat number 1, Tristan Davison of Bertrand, Zach Einsmore of Arapahoe. On deck on mat number 2, Vincent Flacco of Lexington, Tyson Dean of Highline. On deck on mat number 3, Easton Frex of Alma, Malachi Strickland of Loomis. On standby on mat number 1, Ledger Sign of Lexington, Keandre Ober of Highline. Declan Biter of Brady, Camden Carpenter of Arapahoe. You're on standby on mat number 2. On mat number 3, Max Lanick of Southern Valley, Carson Swanson of Lucas. On deck on mat number 1, Ledger Sign of Lexington, Keandre Oberg of Highline. You're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Isaac Schneider of McCook, Caleb Warner of Arapahoe. You're on standby on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 2, Declan Biter of Brady, Camden Carpenter of Arapahoe. You're on deck on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 3, Max Lanick of Southern Valley, Carson Swanson of Loomis. On deck on mat number 1, Ledger Sign of Lexington, Keandre Oberg of Highline. On standby on mat number 1, Isaac Schneider of McCook, Callum Warner of Arapahoe. On mat number 2, Braden Forster of Minden Colt Houston of Loomis. And on standby at mat number 3, Jonathan Mendoza of Lexington, Lance Holler of McCook. On deck on mat number 2, Braden Forster of Minden Colt Houston of Loomis. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, James Fusner of Loomis, Braxton Arulo of Highline. You're on standby on mat number 2. On standby mat number 3, Tyson Thompson of Minden, Connor Long of Cambridge. On deck on mat number 3, Jonathan Mendoza of Lexington, Lance Holler of McCook. On deck on mat number 1, Isaac Snyder of McCook, Callum Warner of Arapahoe. You're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Christian Archilia of Lexington, August Shoemaker of Cambridge. You're on standby on mat number 1. Correction on standby on mat number 3. Correction on standby on mat number 3. Ryder Rask of Arapahoe. Colin Cole of Highline. You're on standby on mat number 3. Now wrestling on mat number 2, James Fusner of Loomis, Braxton Rulo, Highline, you're up on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 2 is Jayden Schreiber of Alma, Brody Hammond of Southwest. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Wyatt Blickenstaff of Arapahoe, Brody Hayek of Bertrand. On deck on mat number 1. On deck, mat number 1, Christian Arkilia of Lexington, August Shoemaker of Cambridge. On deck on mat number 2, Jayden Schreiber of Alma, Brody Hammond of Southwest. Mat number 3, Ryder Rask of Arapahoe, Colin Cole of Highline. You're on deck. On standby on mat number 1, Isaac Dutton McCook, Easton Reynolds of Loomis. On mat number 2, Wyatt Blickenstaff of Arapahoe, Brody Hyde of Bertrand. And on standby on mat number 3, Alec Osborne of McCook, Morgan Johnson of Minden. on mat number 2, Wyatt Blickenstaff of Arapahoe, Brody Hine of Bertrand, you're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Cohen Wright of Southern Valley, Branson Beavers of Elm Creek, you're on standby on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 3, Alec Osborne of McCook, Morgan Johnson of Minden. On standby, mat number 3, Ryan Robinson of Loomis, Johnny Orzoko of Lexington. On deck on mat number 2, Cohen Wright of Southern Valley, Branson Beavers of Elm Creek, you're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Bryson Keller of McCook, Oliver Fellers of Lexington. On deck on mat number 1, Isaac Dutton of McCook, Easton Reynolds of Loomis, you're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Hadley Klinkerbell of Cambridge, Gage Tiller of McCook. On deck on mat number 1, Hadley Klinkerbell of Cambridge, Gage Tiller of McCook, you're on deck on mat number 1. On standby, mat number 1, JJ Perez of Bertrand, Bodie Thompson of Arapahoe, you're on standby on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 2, Bryson Keller of McCook, Oliver Fellers of Lexington, you're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, David Wilborn of McCook, Gage Wolverman of Loomis. On deck on mat number 1, JJ Perez of Bertrand, Bodie Thompson of Arapahoe, you're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Jesse Mowry of Cambridge, Riker Wolf, Lexington, you're on standby on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 1, Jesse Bowery of Cambridge, Roger Wolf of Lexington, you're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Bryson Keller of McCook, Oliver Fellers of Lexington, you're on deck. Mat number 3, Ryan Robinson of Loomis, Johnny Orsko of Lexington, you're on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 1, Colby Foster of McCook, Brody Springer of Southwest. Mat number 2, Stephen Wilborn of McCook, Gage Wilderman of Loomis. And on standby, mat number 3 is Barrett Peterson of Minden, Hayden Helms of Arapahoe. On deck on mat number 1, Colby Foster, McCook, Brody Springer of Southwest, you're on deck on mat number 1. On standby, mat number 1, Dakota Douglas of Medicine Valley. Trooper Trail of McCook, you're on standby on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 1, Connor Grunterod of Elm Creek, Brantley Wright of Minden. On deck on mat number 2, Cleet Bowie of Loomis, Blake Aquino of Southern Valley. On mat number 3, Willie Auckland of Highline line Levi Linsenmeyer of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 3. On deck on mat number 1, Owen Teal of Bertrand, Kempton Lighton of Medicine Valley. On deck on mat number 2, Camden Schmidt of Minden, Anthony Melendez of Lexington. On deck on mat number 3, Willie Auckland of Highline, Levi Lindensmeyer of Lexington. On standby on mat number 1, Emmanuel Obert of Highline, Houston Larson of Arapahoe. Mat number 2, Marvin Gallara of Lexington, Joel Teets of McCook. On standby on mat number 3, Noah Nelson of Bertrand, Ty Schaefer of McCook. On deck on mat number 1, Emmanuel Oberg of Highline, Houston Larson of Arapahoe. On deck on mat number 2, Camden Schmidt of Minden, Anthony Melendez of Lexington. On deck on mat number 3, Jose Antonio of Lexington, Chase Hernandez of Cambridge. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 1, Bentley Campbell of Medicine Valley. Chaco Castaneda of Lexington. On standby on mat number 2, Marvin Malara of Lexington, Joel Teets of Mattoon. On standby on mat number 3, Riker Fouch of Minden, Javen Gentry of Brady. On deck on mat number 3, Lee Kirchhoff of Medicine Valley, Chase Whitehead of McCook. You're on deck on mat number 3. Jose Antonio Lexington, please report to mat number 3. Antonio Lexington, please report to mat number 3. On deck on mat number 1, Connor Steinmetz of Loomis, Graham Sisson of Arapahoe. On deck on mat number 2, Marvin Millara of Lexington, Joel Keats of McCook. On deck on mat number 3, Leif Kirchel of Medicine Valley, Chase Whitehead of McCook. On standby on mat number 1, Tyler Wilson of Minden, Denali Fominays of Lexington. On standby mat number 2, Diego Rodriguez of Bertrand, Devin Rodriguez of Cambridge. On mat number 3, on standby, Riker Pouch of Minden, Javin Gentry of Brady. On deck on mat number 3, Jonathan Johnson of Loomis, Angel Mendez of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 3. Mat number 1, Tyler Wilson of Minden. Denali Pomenays of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Diego Rodriguez Bertrand, Devin Rodriguez of Cambridge. You're on deck. On standby, mat number 1, Juan Aguilar, Lexington Cruz Sur of Brady. On standby, mat number 2, Lucas Lebanons of Minden, Hunter Lands of Southern Valley. And on standby on mat number 3, Max Stone of McCook, Nolan McMillan of Minden. On deck on mat number 2, Lucas Lavins of Minden, Hunter Lands of Southern Valley. You're on deck on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 3, Max Stone of McCook, Nolan McMillan of Minden. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby, mat number 1, Waylon Lesson of Lexington, Aaron Benules of Minden. On standby, mat number 2, Eli Stone of Elm Creek, Tyson Bowes of Southern Valley. On standby, mat number 3, Jason Harbor of Elm Creek, Javin Hotelling of Medicine Valley. On deck on mat number 2, Eli Stone at Elm Creek, Tyson Bowes of Southern Valley, you're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Wesley Bennett of Matuk, Juan Lopez Almeida's of Lexington. You're on standby on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 3, Chase Harbor at Elm Creek, Javin Hoteling of Medicine Valley, you're on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 3, Sawyer Shipper of Loomis, Carter Barnes of Bertrand. On deck on mat number 1, Waylon Blesson of Lexington, Aaron Canulos of Minden. You're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Drew Lewis of Almas, Jeremy Cruz of Lexington. On deck on mat number 1, Drew Lewis of Alma, Jeremy Cruz of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Eli Stone of Elm Creek, Tyson Bowes of Southern Valley. On deck on mat number 3, Sawyer Shipper of Loomis, Carter Barnes of Bertrand. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 1, Miles Elm of Southwest, Julian Rosales of Lexington. On standby, mat number 2, Wesley Venice of McCook, Juan Lopez Almeida of Lexington. And on standby on mat number 3, Graham Robinson of McCook, Reed Moorlane of Minden. Attention, we have a special announcement to make. Happy birthday to Highline Coach Waylo Oakland today. Happy birthday, Coach. Your sister-in-law was nice enough to send us that, so Happy birthday, Coach. On deck on mat number 1, Miles Helms of Southwest, Julian Rosales of Lexington. On deck on mat number 2, Wesley Bennett of McCook, Juan Lopez Almeida of Lexington. On deck on mat 3, Brigham Robinson of Arapahoe, Reed Woolring of Minden. On standby on mat number 1, Jaden Meyer of Elm Creek, Lane Walsh of Medicine Valley. On standby on mat number 2, Tyson Thompson of Minden, Connor Long of Cambridge. On standby on mat number 3, Kellen Vincent of Bertrand, Cesar Fierro of Lexington. On deck on mat number 3, Kellen Vincent of Bertrand, Cesar Fierro of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 3, Jameson Prince of Elm Creek, Domingo Lopez of Loomis. You're on standby on mat number 3. On deck on mat number 1, Jaden Meyer of Elm Creek, Lane Walsh of Medicine Valley. You're on deck on mat number 1. On deck mat number 2, Tyson Thompson of Minden, Connor Long of Cambridge. On deck on mat number 3, Kellen Vincent of Bertrand, Cesar Fierro of Lexington. On standby on mat number 1, Denelson Hernandez of Lexington, Hunter Holloran of Southwest. On standby mat number 2, Jackson Gehrig of Alma, Ashton Siebold of Loomis. And on mat number 3, Jamison Prince of Elm Creek, Domingo Lopez of Loomis. You're on standby. On deck on mat number 2, Jackson Gehrig of Alma, Ashton Siebold of Loomis. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Connor Weaver of Southwest, Jason Cunnich of Elm Creek. On deck on mat number 3, Jamison Prince of Elm Creek, Domingo Lopez of Loomis. On standby on mat number 3, Belly Rivera of Lexington, Domingo Quezada of McCook. You're on standby on mat number 3. On deck on mat number 2, Connor Weaver of Southwest, Jace Cottage of Elm Creek. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Jaden Strand of Highline, Blake Teal of Bertrand. On mat number 3, Bosbelli Rivera of Lexington, Dominic Quezada of McCook. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby, mat number 3, Micah Luan of Cash Chanelli of Alma. On deck on mat number 1, Danielson Hernandez of Lexington, Hunter Holloran of Southwest. You're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Isaiah Torres, Lexington. Cohen Cook of McCook. You're on standby on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 1, Isaiah Torres of Lexington, Cohen Cock of McCook. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Connor Weaver, Southwest, Jace Cottage of Elm Creek. On deck on mat number 3, Micah Luhan of Lexington, Cash Shirley of Alma. On standby on mat number 1, Sean Heath of Minden, Aaron Seha of Lexington. On standby on mat number 2, Tyler Rowe, Brady Jesse Brzovic of Lexington. On standby on mat number 3, Christopher Charlie of Southwest, Stephen Siebold of McCook. Update, mat 1 on deck is Isaiah Torres of Lexington, Cohen Cock of McCook. On standby on mat number 1, Sean Heath of Minden, Aaron Seha of Lexington. On deck on mat number 2, Jade Ooststrand of Highline, Blake Teal of Bertrand. On deck on mat number 3, Micah Luhan of Lexington, Cash Shirley of Alma. On standby on mat number 1, Sean Heath of Minden, Aaron Sahate of Lexington. Mat 2, Tyler Rowe of Brady, Jesse Drzovic of Lexington. And on standby on mat number 3, Christopher Charlie, Southwest, Stephen Siebold of McCook. On deck on mat number 1, Sean Heath of Minden, Aaron Seha of Lexington. On deck on mat number 2, Tyler Rowe, Brady, Jesse Drzovic of Lexington. Mat number 3, Christopher Charlie of Southwest, Stephen Siebold of McCook here on deck. On standby on mat number 1, Jesse Lundquist of Southwest, Caden Rowe of McCook. On standby mat number 2, Easton Collicutt of Bertrand. Lizabel Ramos of Lexington. And on standby on mat number 3, Corbin Hanson of Bertrand, Cohen Greenlee of McCook. On deck on mat number 1, Jesse Lundquist of Southwest, Cameron Rowe, McCook, you're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Caitlin Prater of Loomis, Charlie Kirschner of Highline. On deck on mat number 3, Corbin Hansen for Grant, Cohen Greenlee of McCook, you're on deck on mat number 3. On standby on mat number 1, Bailey Heckman of Loomis, Sophia Dunce of Alma. Mat number 2, Jalen Bradley of Alma. Lorelei Hernandez of Elm Creek. Update. On deck on mat number 1, Jesse Lundquist of Southwest, Cameron Rowe of McCook. On deck on mat number 2, Jalen Bradley of Alma, Lorelei Hernandez of Elm Creek. On deck on mat number 3, Corbin Hansen of Bertrand, Cohen Greenlee of McCook. On standby on mat number 1, Miley Heckman of Loomis, Sophia Dunce of Alma. Mat number 2, Grayson Hegemeyer of Minden, Xander Smith of Southern Valley. And on standby on mat number 3, Rylan Bossler of Bertrand, Piper Monty of Highline. On deck on mat number 1, Morgan Tate of Bertrand, Dakota Detterding of Cambridge. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Jose Beltran of Lexington, Brian Edwards of McCook. On deck on mat number 3, Ryland Mossler of Bertrand, Piper Monteith of Highline. On standby on mat number 1, Chloe Stoddard of Brady, Ashley Sharp of Highline. Mat number 2, Nellie Dunn of Alma, Baylor Waldenmath of Loomis. Update on deck on mat number 3. On deck, mat number 3, Madeline Benson of Cambridge, Bobby Durand of Elm Creek. On standby on mat number 3, Sam Siegfried of McCook, Hoyt Miller of Alma. Morgan Tate of Bertrand, Dakota Detterding of Cambridge, you're on deck on mat number 1. On mat number 2, Cam Ford of Alma, Gabrielle Velasquez of Lexington. On deck on mat number 3, Sam Siegfried of McCook, Hoyt Miller of Alma. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby, mat number 1, Chloe Stoddard of Brady, Ashley Sharp of Highline. Mat number 2, Alex Bobby of Minden, Hunter Stout of Medicine Valley. And on standby, mat number 3, Bolt Burrell of Loomis and the Sprint of Southwest. On deck on mat number 1, Javier Peralta of Midland, Gavin Andrews of Arapahoe. On deck on mat number 2, Alex Lobby of Midland, Booker Stout of Medicine Valley. On deck on mat number 3, Matt Benson of Cambridge, Bobby Moran of Elk Creek. On standby on mat number 1, Malachi Strickland of Lewis, Wyatt Brunswick of McCook. On standby, mat number 2, Eastern Fresh of Albert John McGowan in Cambridge. And on mat number 3, Sam Siegfried of McCook, Woodville, Ohio. You're all standby. On deck on mat number 1, Malachi Strickland Lewis, Wyatt Brunswick of McCook. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Alex Lobby of Midland, Booker Stout of Medicine Valley. On deck on mat number 3, Sam Siegfried of McCook, Woodville of Alma. On standby on mat number 1, Caleb Ely of McCook, Alex Gray of Cambridge. Mat number 2, Alex Pablo of Lexington, Lance Bonner of Minden, you're on standby. Mat number 3, Holden Burrell of Lewis, Camden Strait of Southwest, you're on standby. On deck on mat number 2, Eastern Threats of Alma John McGowan of Cambridge, you're on deck on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 3, Holden Terrell and Lucas Camden Stritt of Southwest. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby, mat number 3, Vincent Pago of Lexington, Zach Heinsmore of Arapahoe. On deck on mat number 2, Easton Frex of Alma, John McGowan of Cambridge. You're on deck, mat number 2. On standby, mat number 2, Alex Pablo of Lexington, Lance Bonner of Minden. On deck on mat number 1, Caleb Ely of Macoke, Mountain Gray of Cambridge. You're on deck on mat number 1. On standby, mat number 1, Max Landing of Southern Valley, Jackson Fighter of Brady. You're on standby on mat number 1. On deck, mat number 3, Vincent Pago of Lexington, Zach Heinsmore of Arapahoe. On standby, mat number 3, Tyson Dean of Highline, Tristan Davidson of Bertrand. Now on deck on mat number 2, Carson Swanson of Lucas Camden Carpenter of Arapahoe. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby, Mat number 2, DeAndre Oberg of Highline, Isaac Snyder of McCook. You're on standby on mat number 2. On deck on mat number 3, Tyson Dean of Highline, Tristan Davison of Bertrand. On standby, mat number 3, Ledger Sign of Lexington, Alan Warner of Arapahoe. You're on standby on mat number 3. On deck on mat number 1, Lance Haller of McCook, Colt Houston of Lewis. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, DeAndre Over, Highline Isaac Schneider of Cook here on deck. Mat number 3, Ledger Side of Lexington, Cal Warner of Arapahoe. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby, mat number 1, James Husner of Loomis. Christian Archilla of Lexington. On standby, mat number 2, Braxton Arulo of Highline, August Shoemaker of Cambridge. And mat number 3, Jonathan Mendoza of Lexington, Green Forster of Minden. You're on standby, mat number 3. Okay, Sam Siegfried of McCook, Blake Miller of Allen, please report to the scores table, please. Sam Siegfried of McCook, Blake Miller of Allen to the scores table on the stage, please. On deck on mat number 1, call the poll of Highline, James Schreiber of Alba. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Braxton Arulo of Highline, August Shoemaker of Cambridge. You're on deck. Mat number 3, Jonathan Mendoza of Lexington, Great Forster of Minden. You're on deck, mat number 3. On standby, mat number 1, Brody Ike of Bertrand, Alec Osborne of McCook. Mat number 2, Ryder Rask of Arapahoe, Brody Hammond of Southwest. Mat number 3, Wyatt Lindstaff of Arapahoe, Morgan Johnson of Minden. You're on standby. Should we please have Sam Siegfried of McCook, Hoyt Miller of Alba, please report to the stage. Alex Lomby of Minden and Booker Stout of Medicine Valley, please report to the stage. Could I please get Wyatt Humphrey of Bertrand and Ezra Solis of Lexington to the stage, please? Wyatt Humphrey of Bertrand, Ezra Solis of Lexington, please report to the stage. Thank you. On deck on mat number 1, Brody Hayek of Bertrand, Alec Osborne of Cook. Mat number 2, Braxton Aru of Highline, August Shoemaker of Cambridge. On mat number 3, Jonathan Mendoza, Lexington Great Forster of Minden, you're on deck. On standby on mat number 1, Isaac Dutton of Cook, going right to Southern Valley. Ryder Rask of Arapahoe, Brody Hammond, you're on standby on mat number 2. Mat number 3, Wyatt Blickenstaff of Arapahoe, Morgan Johnson of Minden. Can I get Easton Frex of Alma, John McGowan of Cambridge to the stage, please? Easton Frex of Alma, John McGowan of Cambridge to the stage, please. Could I please have Alec Gray of Cambridge and Caleb Ely of McCook to the stage, please? Caleb Ely of McCook, Alex Gray of Cambridge, please report to the stage. Should I get Vincent Fago of Lexington and Zach Einsbar from Arapahoe to the stage, please? Fago of Lexington, Einsbar, Arapahoe, please report to the stage. On deck on mat number 1, Brody Hayek of Bertrand, Alec Osborne of McCook. On mat number 3, Wyatt Blickenstaff of Arapahoe, Morgan Johnson of Minden, you're on deck. On standby on mat number 3, Easton Reynolds of Lewis, Branch and Beavers of Elm Creek. On deck on mat number 2, Ryder Rask of Arapahoe, Brody Hammond of Southwest. On standby on mat number 2, Johnny Orzo Code of Lexington, Hadley Blankenbelt from Cambridge. Should I please get Max Lamick of Southern Valley and Declan Viter of Brady. Lamick of Southern Valley, Viter of Brady, please report to the stage. mat number 1, Isaac Dutton, Cook, Cohen Wright from Southern Valley. You're on deck on mat number 1. Excuse me, you're now wrestling on mat number 1. Isaac Dutton, Cook, Cohen Wright from Southern Valley on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 1, Bryson Keller of Cook, JJ Perez of Bertrand. Excuse me, Ryan Robinson of Loomis, Gage Killer of Cook, you're on deck on mat number 1. Robinson, Loomis, Killer of Cook, you're on deck on mat number 1. On standby on mat number 1, Bryson Keller of Cook, JJ Perez of Bertrand. Can we please have Ellie Dubs from Alma to the stage, please? Ellie Dubs from Alma to the stage, please. Chloe Stoddard from Brady, can you please report to the stage, please? And Ashley Sharp from Highline. Stoddard, Brady, Sharp from Highline, please report to the stage. On deck on mat number 1, Ryan Robinson of Loomis, Gage Tiller of Cook, at mat number 1. Mat number 2, Johnny Osco of Lexington, Hadley Clintonville of Cambridge. You're on deck on mat number 2. Mat number 3, Easton Reynolds of Loomis, Branson Beavers of Elm Creek. On mat number 1, Bryson Keller of Cook, JJ Perez of Bertrand. Mat number 2, Gage Wolfman of Loomis and Jesse Mowry of Cambridge. On standby, mat number 3, Oliver Fellers of Lexington, Bodie Songson of Arapahoe. You're on standby, mat number 3. Side of Lexington and Callan Warner of Arapahoe, please report to the stage. Sign of Lexington, Warner of Arapahoe to the stage, please. On deck on mat number 1, Ryan Robinson of Lewis Gage Stewart of Cook. On deck mat number 2, Johnny Orzo of Lexington, Hadley Frankenbell from Cambridge. Mat number 3, Gabe Wilborn of Cook. Right to the Wolf of Lexington, you're on deck on mat number 3. Stand by mat number 1, Bryson Keller of Cook, J.J. Perez of Bertrand. Mat number 2, Gage Wolderman of Loomis, Jesse Mowry of Cambridge. And on standby on mat number 3, Hayden Helms of Arapahoe, Brody Springer from Southwest. So we get James Fusner of Loomis and James Shriver of Alvin to the stage, please. Colin Cole from Highline, can you please come to the stage? Cole from Highline, Shriver from Alvin. So we have Lance Holler from McCook and Cole Houston from Loomis to the stage, please. Holler, McCook, Houston, Loomis to the stage, please. On deck, on mat number 1, Bryson Keller of McCook, J.J. Perez, Bertrand, you're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Gage Wolfman of Loomis, Jesse Mowry of Cambridge. Mat number 3, Gage Wolfman of McCook, Roger Wolf, Lexington, you're on deck, mat number 3. On standby, mat number 1, Dakota Douglas of Medicine Valley, Luther Stockford of Highline. Mat number 2, Merrick Pearson of Minden, Colby Foster of McCook. And standby on mat number 3, Hayden Helms of Arapahoe, Brody Springer from Southwest. We have Wyatt Flickenstaff from Arapahoe and Morgan Johnson of Minden. Please report to the stage. Isaac Dutton from McCook and Cohen Wright from Southern Valley. Please come to the stage. staff from Arapahoe, I got from the coach, please report to the stage. Looking staff of Arapahoe, got from the coach, please report to the stage. Thank you. On deck on mat number 1, Dakota Douglas of Medicine Valley, Lucas Cochran of Highline. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Merrick Peterson from Minden, Colby Foster of McCook. On mat number 3, on deck, Hayden Helms of Arapahoe, Brody Springer from Southwest. On standby, mat number 1, Tyler Kelsey of Southern Valley, after Gerlach from Cambridge. On standby, mat number 2, Leon Milano Kular from Elk Creek, Eli Pearson from McCook. On standby, mat number 3, Cooper Trail from McCook, and Shaw of Lucas. We have Johnny Orozco of Lexington, please report to the stage. Hadley Clinkenbell from Cambridge, please report to the stage. Oliver Fellers from Lexington and Bodie Thompson from Arapahoe, please report to the stage. Fellers, Lexington, Thompson, Arapahoe, please report to the stage. Can we please have David Wilborn from McCook, Riker Wolf of Lexington, please report to mat number 3. Wilborn, McCook, Wolf, Lexington, please report to mat number 3. On deck now on mat number 3, Dave Helms from Arapahoe, Brody Springer, Southwest. On standby, mat number 3, Cooper Trail, McCook, Campbell Shop of Loomis. On deck on mat number 1, Tyler Kelsey of Southern Valley, Asher Gerlach from Cambridge. You're on deck on mat number 1. On standby, mat number 1, please Louis of Loomis. Louis Oakland of Highline. You're on standby on mat number 1. On deck on mat number 2, Blake Bueno of Southern Valley, Levi Ritzenmeyer of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Connor Grancarado, Elm Creek, Noah Nelson of Bertrand. On deck on mat number 3, Cooper Trail from the fifth, Camden Shaw of Loomis. On standby on mat number 3, Brandon Wright, Minden Ty Schaefer from the Cup. You're on standby on mat number 3. Do we have Gage Woodman of Loomis, please report to the stage, please. Woodman of Loomis, please report to the stage. Thank you. So we got Dakota Douglas from Medicine Valley, Lucas Cochran from Highline. Report to the stage, please. Douglas, Medicine Valley, Cochran, Highline, please report to the stage. Thank you. On deck on mat number 1, St. Louis Olympus, William Oakland, Highline. You're on deck on mat number 1. On standby, mat number 1, Captain Layton, of Medicine Valley, Anthony Melendez of Lexington. You're on standby on mat number 1. On deck, mat number 2, Blake Spino of Southern Valley, Levi Linsenmeyer of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby, mat number 2. On deck now on mat number 2, Connor Gunterod of Elm Creek, Noah Nelson of Bertrand. On standby on mat number 2, Joel Keats of McCook, Houston Larson of Arapahoe. Could we please have Hayden Helms from Arapahoe, Brody Springer from Southwest, report to the stage, please. Helms, Arapahoe, Springer, Southwest, please to the stage. Can we please have Dakota Douglas from Medicine Valley to the stage, please? Douglas from Medicine Valley to the stage, please. On deck on mat number 1, Tipton Layton of Medicine Valley, Anthony Melendez of Lexington. You're on deck on mat number 1. Mat number 2, Connor Gunterod of Elm Creek, Noah Nelson of Bertrand. On deck on mat number 3, Owen Teal of Bertrand, Camden Schmidt of Minden. On standby on mat number 1, Truman Fennell of Alma, Chango Castaneda of Lexington. On standby, mat number 2, Joel Keats of McCook, Houston Larson of Arapahoe. Mat number 3, on standby, Martin Mallara of Lexington, Emmanuel Oberg of Highline. So we have Tyler Felzine from Southern Valley, Asher Durlock from Cambridge, please report to the stage. Felzine, Southern Valley, Durlock, Cambridge, please report to the stage. Thank you. On deck on mat number 3, Marvin Mallara of Lexington, Emmanuel Oberg of Highline. You're on deck on mat number 3. On standby, mat number 3, Jose Estrada, McCook, Bentley Campbell of Medicine Valley. On deck on mat number 2, Chase Hernandez from Cambridge, Lee Churchill of Medicine Valley. Hernandez, Cambridge, Churchill, Medicine Valley. You're on deck on mat number 2. On standby on mat number 2, Jose Antonio of Lexington, Chase Whitehead from Cook. You're on standby on mat number 2. Can we please have Joel Teach from McCook report to mat number 2, please? Teach McCook to mat number 2, please. On deck on mat number 1, Tempton Lee of Medicine Valley, Anthony Melendez of Lexington. On deck, mat number 2, Chase Hernandez, Cambridge, Lee Churchill of Medicine Valley. On deck, mat number 3, Martin Villara of Lexington, Emmanuel Oberg of Highline. On standby, mat number 1, Truman Fennell of Alma, Chaco Castaneda of Lexington. On standby, mat number 2, Jose Antonio Lexington, Chase Whitehead McCook. Now on deck on mat number 3, Jose Estrada McCook, Bentley Campbell from Medicine Valley. On standby, mat number 3, Riker Fouch, Minden, Devin Rodriguez from Cambridge. So we have Clint Bowie of Loomis and Willie Oakland of Highline. Please report to the stage. Connor Drutterod of Elm Creek and Noah Nelson Bertrand to the stage, please. On deck on mat number 1, Truman Fennell of Alma, Chaco Castaneda of Lexington. You're on deck, mat number 1. Mat number 2, Jose Antonio of Lexington, Chase Whitehead from McCook. On deck, mat number 3, Riker Fouch of Minden, Devin Rodriguez from Cambridge. You're on deck, mat number 3. On standby, mat number 1, Gavin Gentry of Brady, Diego Rodriguez from Bertrand. Mat number 2, Graham Sisson of Arapahoe, Denali Fomenstein of Lexington. And on standby, mat number 3, Connor Steinmetz of Loomis, Tyler Wilson from Minden.